Good morning students. Pedagogy of Computer Science, Unit 3, Approaches of Teaching. The approaches of teaching computer science education programs will be designed to enable the learner to acquire the problem solving and decision making skills. This approaches the spiral organizing curriculum, they lay out basic components. The definition of approaches. The concept of construct design is based on the cognitive psychological theories of German Brunner. The Brunner believed the three distinct spaces: inactive space, iconic, symbolic space. The design of concentric approaches. Then the step of concentric approaches. Then merits, and this is the common topics. The topical approaches. In these approaches, the curriculum maker takes the particular topics as the central theme of the various instruction and concepts. The procedure, then advantages of topical approaches and disadvantages. Then unit approaches. The unit approaches plays the important role in the learning in the early childhood because it has many meaningful activities related to each other. The definition, the combination of goal, concept, generalization, objective, skills, attitude, teaching methods and evaluation procedure into long-term plan for dealing with the specific topic is called the topic approach. Disadvantages, these principles of correlations, the simple natural, the nature of the subject, the stage of mental development. The types, correlated, vertical and horizontal, integrated approaches, the value of integrated approaches, then merits and demerits. That's designing the lesson plan. This unit for approaches of teaching most important for the lesson plan designing in this unit for discuss. The lesson plan helps the teacher to plan or prepare the classroom. Principals are preparing the lesson plan. The students, how to preparation for the lesson plan, why the lesson preparation of the lesson plan. The student previous knowledge, their capabilities must be basic for the lesson plan. The lesson plan should create the interest in students. Then need and important features of lesson plan. All objectives of the lesson, both general and specific, should be started clearly in the lesson plan. 45 minutes discuss the topics for the useful or hint of the lesson plan. The lesson plan gives the self-confidence to the teacher. A good lesson plan should be flexible. Then use of lesson plan. The lesson plan helps the student to focus on the subject matter. The complete the lesson plan helps. The prevent waste time. The obtain the teaching resources. The Herbarting steps: preparation, presentation, association, generalization, application. This is the lesson plan format. The Herbarting steps. The preparation of lesson plan useful for steps: motivation, presentation, association, generalization, application, recapitulations, assignment. Motivations is previous knowledge, new informations. The presentation means current topics that is discuss the topic. The association means students well prepared, interactions between. The generalizations is appreciations. The application is use of demonstrations method. The recapitulations, the today classes discuss the topic. All topic is discuss the recapitulations. Last one is assignment is tomorrow homeworks. Today is how to learn the learning experience for the assignment. The organizing of teaching learning is the framework on which effective teaching is based. The memory level of teaching, Herbarting model levels of teaching. The memory level of teaching is lesson plan uses for reflective level, understanding level, memory level. These three types of organizing teaching memory level. The memory level of teaching objectives, first of all, focus. Lesson plan or particular single lessons is focus, syntax, social system, support system, evaluation system. Then merits and demerits of memory level. Then next heading is understanding the level of teaching. The Morrison models, memory level is Kerbatin model, this Morrison model, this teaching at the understanding level of a higher quality than one of the memory level. This subject uses accusation of the required knowledge to see the relationship between the acquired facts. These methods, 5 steps of teaching models: exploration, presentation, assimilations, organization, recapitulations. These merits and demerits. The reflective levels of next heading is reflective level of teaching, the Big and Hunt model. This level of teaching is the highest level of teaching learning activities. These components: reasoning, thinking, analyzing, imagination, ideas and thoughts. This model of reflective level of teaching: focus the lesson, syntax, social system, support system. This method used for reflective level of teaching: problem solving method, investigations projects, heuristic method, experimental method, analytic method, inquiry oriented method. This is the method of teachings. Then merits and demerits are designing the unit plan. Before discuss the lesson plan, the next heading is unit plan. What is designing the unit plan? The curriculum or syllabus frame should organize the content matter for a specific subject class into a meaningful major divisions in terms of units. Define the unit: a large block of the related subject matters can overviewed by the learner. Good characteristics of good unit. The unit should be a meaningful segments if well organized subject matter. If should give a new experience to the students. If students help the individual differences in learning. Then advantages. Then next steps followed to perform the unit plan. Overall, one unit how use for the lessons: analyzing the content, generalization instructions objectives, specific instructional objectives, planning the learning activities, evaluation procedure, remedial methods. These are the steps for the perform the unit plan. The lesson plan structure for 4 folding sections: section times, materials, previous knowledge of learners. This procedure: motivation, preparation, presentation, review and follow. This is the 4 fold of lesson plans. Thank you, students. Then again, let's how to make a lesson plan. Then model lesson plans that discuss the topic. The lesson plan. The 1988 modified the Bloom taxonomy in the following taxonomical order: the writing the lesson plan, the constructing the question paper, the attitude, interest, skill application, then understanding knowledge, the principles of state instructional objectives. The lesson plan objectives, they should be started in the term of students' behavior, not teacher behavior. The objective should be related with the content. The objective should be the taxonomical order. The objective should be arranged from the simple to complex. Then started through action verbs, the clear practice, then unitary, the not composite form. These the principles of state instructional objectives for the lesson plan. This format, one of the format, the first one is knowledge. The knowledge is verb used for the recalls, recognize, identifies, defines, list, matches, states, selects, repeats. This the knowledge useful for the verbs. The next one, understandings. Understandings, use of verbs, describe, explain, classifications, translate, discriminations, alerts, illustrative, give examples, relators, redefines, arranges. This is the understanding. This is the one of the content were explaining things of the using the verb for the understanding. This knowledge means the knowledge is the previous of knowledge, current knowledge, the subject of knowledge. This uses for the verb of the knowledge. The next one is applications. The applications use of verbs: uses, solves, computers, applies, calculators, analyzes, compares, constructors. This is the applications of verb, the use of lesson plan. The next verb is used for the skills. The skills of draws, prepares, marks, creates, manipulations, records, conducts the displays. One of the matching the board of use of the lesson plans, topping the explanations. This is the skills. The next one is of interest. Interest the source, any pictures, any charts, any demonstrations of source of the teaching of lesson plan. Then interest spends, searches, visits, participations, appreciations, right, contributions, collects. These are all the interest of use of verbs. The last one is attitudes. The attitude use of the verbs develop, respects, believes, infers, cooperates. This knowledge of the students' objectives, the recall of definition of power, recognition, appreciations, then rectangles, the properties, speech. These are the knowledge. Then understanding the use of the describe, explain, classifications, use of. Then next. This next one is the applications. The applications use the table of solve the problems. Then ignore the policies, meaning of the poem. These are the applications, objectives. Then next skills. Then interest. Last one is attitudes. This is the format of useful for verb in the lesson plan format. Another one is the lesson plan format, the introductions. The introduction to this lesson plan is a teacher's detailed description of the courses of instruction, learning for the lessons. The daily lesson plan is developed a teacher to guide the classes learning. The detailed, the very depending the performance of the teacher, subject being covered and need the students. What I am teaching, how will I teach it, how will I know if the student understand who I am that teaching. This is the plan. The effective practice is plan, do, check, change, the reflect. The steps involve the lesson planning. The Herbert is preparation or introduction, presentation, comparison or association, generalization, application, then recapitulations. The presentation means the teacher must prepare the mind of students receive a new knowledge. This knowledge is to be liked with the previous knowledge of the students. That is the preparations. One of the class 45 minutes for teaching, the compulsory for the preparations of lesson plan. How to introduce a new topic? This can be done by testing by previous knowledge of pupil. The teacher may be introduce the lesson plan with the explanations by asking the questions that may reveal the ignorance, the interest, the criticism of learn the new matter. By presentation, a demonstration, the teacher can lead the students to a discussions. The presentations, the objectives of the lesson should be clearly stated. In the presentation step, the pupil get some new ideas and knowledge. Both the teacher and the pupil should be active participation in the teaching learning process, the presentation. The comparisons and associations, some examples are given to the students and they are asked to observe the carefully and compare the examples of facts. Sometimes the facts learned the present lesson may be associated with the facts learned the previous classes. Comparisons help the pupil to fix the new facts in the mind. The next one is generalization. The generalization means the step involves the reflective thinking because the whole knowledge learnt in the presentations is to be the systemized, which leads to generalizations. The next one is applications. The applications means the students make use of the acquired knowledge, the familiar, the unfamiliar situations. The new knowledge gained by the pupil will become permanent in the mind of the students. The next one is recapitulations. The recapitulations, last step of the lesson plan, Teachers tired the ascribed the whether the student understood the grasped the subject matter or not. This is used the assigning and evaluating effectiveness of the lesson by asking the students questions on the contents of the lesson. By giving the short objectives that test of the students of level of understanding. The label different parts of the diagram, the recapitulations. Then structure of the four-folding lesson plan. Thus, content. The content, the teacher explicit the content to be taught to the students in the classroom. The students developed the skills in the term of cognitive, affective, psychomotor domain after the attending the teaching section of this content. The specifications of behavior outcomes. These outcomes helps the instructional objectives of various school subject. They should be specific, must be expressed as the behavior terms. The students have specifications of the action verb. The specification should be the form of the students achievement and not in the form of the teacher intentions. The model lesson plans for the objectives and associations of verbs, the knowledge, the define, measures, names, the comprehension, change, clarify, the applications, access, change, choose, conduct, the analysis, the associate, compare, the construct, then synthesis, the drive, discussion, generalization. Then evaluations is last ones, the recap, discuss, conclude the statement. The learning experience, the experience result from the active participation of the students in the stimulus situations which the teachers provide in the classrooms. The last one, evaluation. The evaluations means the according the pedagogy of teaching the science of classroom. The objective learning experience evaluations are the interested and independent accept the learning process, teaching learning process. Then the one of the model lesson plan, the instructional objectives students. Today that discuss the topic of the all content is useful for the objectives the student. And next, instructional resources used for the use of TLMs, the teaching learning materials, demonstrations, chart, flashcard. This is used for the instructional resource required. Then previous knowledge of learners, identify the object should be in new scales. Next one is the model lesson plan, content, behavior outcomes, learning experience, evaluations. This is the model, one of the model lesson plan. Your pedagogy of computer science use computer science book like use for the different model lesson plans. Last one is follow-up activities. Tomorrow homeworks is the follow-up activities. Signature of the teacher, signature of the student teachers, your science. Thank you students. This is the one of the model lesson plan format. Third unit full topic is approaches of teachings, only lesson plan, unit plan discussions. Thank you students.